Hello, it's Michelle with Reflect Live Podcast, and it is my pleasure to have Windy Linde on my podcast. How are you doing, Windy?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for joining me.
I'm happy to be here.
That is awesome. Well, she is going to tell us just all about red light therapy. She's a licensed massage therapist, a licensed esthetician, and she's also trained in red light therapy. I've heard so much good things about red light therapy, Wendy.
It is almost unbelievable what it can do for you.
Oh, that's what I hear. But first, I love getting the backstory of my guest. Yes. So have you always wanted to be a therapist, an esthetician?
I honestly did not. I have a degree in history, so went to college, had really kind of no clue exactly what I wanted to do, but took classes that I liked. I worked basically designing kitchens and selling high-end appliances for custom homes when I lived in Arkansas. And on a whim, literally on a whim, went to massage therapy school, loved it. So started that as a career, and then realized about 4 years in that if that's all that I was going to be doing, I would not be working when I was 40. It's a really hard career to be in. It's hard on your body. So I went back to school and got my aesthetics license.
And so so it's easier on your body. So for somebody that's not in the trade, the difference between massage and for some reason I can't say the word.
Okay. You know what? It does not roll off the tongue really easily.
Aesthetic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me repeat the question. Goodness gracious. So someone that's not in the trade, the difference between massage therapist and aesthetics.
Okay, so in the state of Missouri, and I try to always be really clear. In the state of Missouri, estheticians can do massage. Massage therapists cannot do aesthetics work. It's kind of a weird thing here, but massage therapists are working to treat a condition, to alleviate something that's going on, whether it's constriction in your muscles or, it's low back pain. They're working on the structure itself. When an esthetician does massage, they're really just doing it for relaxation, which honestly is my favorite. Mm-hmm. I love helping people get out of their everyday and just take care of them. But estheticians do more than massage. We also do skincare. We do waxing. We can treat benign skin irregularities. We can treat hyperpigmentation. It's really, really a fun career to be in.
Wow. And you mentioned about being a massage that you would have to get out about when you're 40 because it's hard on the body. Why is that?
Well, if you think about it, if you're working full-time doing massage, you're really doing probably 4 to 6 massages in an 8-hour day. And it is like kind of doing a weight workout for the whole time you're working. And it's hard on your hands, it's hard on your shoulders, it's hard on your back, and you're standing the whole time. Mm-hmm. So it literally just has a physical toll to it. So when I started doing aesthetics along with massage, I have about a third of my day I work doing massage. About a third of my day I do facials, and about a third of the day I do waxing. So I have a nice variety. So I don't have those repetitive stress issues that a lot of people do.
Wow. And so you said that you got a degree in history. What's the big transition?
The thing is like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that coming out of high school, I was going to go to college because, back in the 80s, that's what we thought we had to do. We had to go to college and make something of ourselves.
Right.
And I took classes because I was there, but I just ended up taking the classes that I really liked, even though I didn't have a goal in mind as far as what I wanted to be when I grew up.
When you grew up, I understand that. Well, now you seem like you have a pretty cool gig going on.
Welcome to Reflect Live podcast episode sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Linde-Aesthetics, located in Springfield, Missouri.
Welcome to Linde-Aesthetics, a boutique spa where your journey to relaxation and rejuvenation begins. Here, we focus on nurturing your mind, body, and spirit in a warm, welcoming space created just for your comfort. Explore the advantages of our red light therapy. Improve circulation, skin health, reduce inflammation, faster recovery, cellular rejuvenation, increase blood flow, stimulate collagen, and much more. Transform your wellness journey with Linde-Aesthetics. Book an appointment today. www.lindeaesthetics.com.
Let's talk about your red light therapy.
Okay.
All right, 1 second. All right. So came from your website.
Okay. That's
And
one
so, go ahead.
that was our first incarnation of red light therapy.
Okay.
So it's better now.
So tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so the system that we currently have, if you look in the small, I'm sitting here trying to point at the computer here. So we have a top canopy and then we have a lower bed. So the picture that you have blown up there is my son on a massage table with the light canopy above it. So now you have light coming from the top and bottom both, not just from the top.
Gotcha.
So the system.
What does it do for your body?
Oh, it does everything. It does everything. But it uses both visible red light and near infrared light that you cannot see. It produces a mild amount of heat. And then the top canopy has a little bit of blue light that we can turn on and off at will. And that can help people who are struggling with skin breakouts like acne. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's our new bottom bed that we just brought in January.
Okay, tell us a little bit about this bed and what does it do?
Okay, it's the same thing. It has visible red light as well as near infrared light. There are different light wavelengths, and depending on the color of the light itself is going to determine how deeply it penetrates into the body. The visible red light, the lighter colors, the more amber colors are more superficial. The darker the red light, the deeper it penetrates. And then the near infrared penetrates all the way into our body. So it goes more than just the skin. It goes past subcutaneous tissue, which is our fatty layers. It goes into muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones, even your vital organs, including your brain.
Even the brain.
Even your brain.
Wow. That is so cool. So tell us a little bit of like myths and facts. So let's do a myth and fact on how long red light therapy has been around. Is this a new thing?
It is not new. So it is new to the general public in that we haven't really heard about it as a modality that can help us heal. But personally, I've been using light therapy. If you look right there, you can see this little canopy. So that is the one that I use, and I incorporated in facials. So it uses blue, green, red, amber, yellow, and purple light. So we've used those since 2014. So different colors of light affect the skin differently. They have a different therapeutic value. But red light in and of itself has been really around since the early 1900s. NASA started, that long. I mean, like more than 100 years.
Wow.
NASA
it's just now coming to light, like a lot of hype about it.
Yeah, there's a lot more information out there about it. There are more studies. So it's hitting the general public now, but it's been around for a while. In the 1980s, NASA was using it. They were experimenting with it to find ways to help the astronauts to heal quicker in space.
So, and they use that. They use red light therapy.
They use red light.
Wow. So how does it work? Can you give us an in-depth education about it?
Oh, I'm not sure how in-depth to go, but pretty simply, light penetrates the body. So different color lights penetrate at different levels. So when red light specifically and near infrared penetrate into the body, they stimulate the chromophores on the mitochondria. So chromophores are light affected. And when those chromophores get stimulated, the cells start producing more ATP, which is cellular energy. So when the cells are more energized, they actually just work better. They work the way that they were designed to work.
Wow. What about the myth of when someone says it's burning your insides, don't do it because it's burning your insides and you just don't know?
Well, it doesn't really have that capability.
Yeah.
It's not ultraviolet light, and it's not, while it does have some warmth to it, the near infrared light does, it's not enough heat to actually damage your body.
Just a good benefits from it.
It feels warm and it feels toasty. It's kind of amazing. It's really relaxing, but still stimulating and energizing. So it's it's a little bit of everything.
Sure. And who can benefit from this?
Really almost.
What kind of people that?
So, like I said, almost anyone can benefit from it. You
said something about acne. How does that help acne?
Okay, because it helps the skin to heal.
Okay.
So acne is inflammation, and it helps the skin to to heal itself.
Gotcha. What about headaches? There's a list that I'm reading from some of the things. How does it help headaches?
That's one that I can't really say for sure exactly how it helps, but I do know that it does help. So when the cells are stimulated and they are producing more energy, the cells start working more effectively, more efficiently. And so if it's brought about by dysfunction, if it starts functioning better, then it will actually help. If headaches are brought about by stress, the service is very relaxing. So it can alleviate tension that can lead to headaches also.
Wow. Who shouldn't get the red light therapy?
So there are some people who shouldn't get red light therapy, people who have light sensitivity, like people who are epileptic, people who are on sensitizing medications, light sensitizing medications, specifically antibiotics, people who are pregnant or women who are pregnant. And it's not that red light therapy would do anything bad for them, but there have been no significant studies on pregnant women. So we would not recommend it unless their doctor recommended it. Also, people who are undergoing current cancer treatment, when in doubt, we're always going to ask people to consult with their physician and get clearance from a physician if they're under a physician's care.
Yeah, that makes sense. How long are the sessions about?
The sessions vary just a little bit in time. Most people get about a 10-minute session. Some people are a little bit less. They'll do 7 or 8 minutes. Some people do just a little bit more. It really just depends on the person. Also, when people are just coming in and we start them in on red light therapy, we don't start at the highest settings or for the maximum amount of time, because there is such a thing as too much red light therapy. It can make you feel tired and lethargic. You can even have some nausea, kind of like, you feel like you're getting a cold or a flu if you get too much. So we like to acclimate people to it. So we are always going to err on the side of caution. We're going to do a little bit less time. We're going to do a little bit lower setting. And then the next time someone comes in, we are going to have them fill out an intake form. And it is going to have them rate how they felt after their last session. So did they have any of those bad type Herx reactions? Were they lethargic? Did they have malaise? And also rate how they feel as far as, what their stress level is, their aches, their pains, their inflammation, how they're sleeping, and how they feel overall. That way we can actually chart what their progress is, and we adjust their settings based on their feedback.
Is there a long-term commitment required?
So there is not a long-term commitment required, but you do gain more from more sessions. So we just tell people they really need to commit to the process. So it would be like going to the gym and working out as hard as you can for one thing and expecting whatever you went in to be corrected in one visit. So it doesn't really work like that. So acute injuries, like say you sprained your ankle, you might want to come in for a couple of sessions over a week just to kickstart that healing process. But if you had a chronic condition, like I'll just use myself here, I hurt my knee last January. And after going through months and months and months of traditional therapies, I literally was managing it, but not getting better. So when I started doing red light therapy consistently, it took about 8 weeks for me to really see a difference. And it took 12 to 14 weeks to really be to the point that I wasn't in pain every day. So, it does take a little bit of time. Each session builds on the last session. So it does have a cumulative effect.
Do you recommend, you said weekly, like twice a week, 3 times a week, once a week?
It's going to depend on the person. It's going to depend on what their ultimate goal is. I still am doing 3 sessions a week. So I try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, give or take a little bit. I do a 10-minute session. I don't do anything crazy. I'm not in the room every single day doing multiple sessions per day, because it really is not more beneficial to do that. We do have clients who are coming in once a week to once every 2 weeks just for maintenance. They did, 8 weeks or 12 weeks. I have one person who did 16 weeks. And so now they're just keeping themselves where they're at. So when they start to feel like, hey, maybe I need an extra session, they'll do like maybe 2 in a week instead of 1 in a week, or they'll do 1 every other week instead of once a month. So it really just depends on the person. We have situations, that affect us physically, and we just like to be able to kind of roll with it. And if you need more, we give you more. And if you don't need more, then you can back off a little bit.
That's good. What about weight loss? Does it help with weight loss?
So there are a lot of studies out there that show that red light therapy can help with weight loss. It can help with fat reduction. That is not a way that I promote it. It doesn't really fall in line with my business model. Personally, I just want people to look and feel their best, but it's not really about weight loss for us here. Yeah. Though, like I said, it has been shown to do that.
Yeah, I heard a lot about the weight loss and the cellulite and all that. So I was curious if that was a myth or a fact.
No, it's a fact. It's absolutely a fact. But like I said, it doesn't fall in line with my business model. So while it would be a nice perk, it's not our goal. Mm-hmm. Our goal is to help you have less inflammation, less pain, sleep better. Red light therapy actually stimulates the brain to produce more melatonin naturally, which affects our quality of sleep.
Wow. Now, do you have any success story that you'd like to share?
Well, I mean, I have myself personally. Like I said, I hurt my knee. One day I tried all of the traditional modalities, therapies. I mean, I was taking ibuprofen all day. I was basically alternating Tylenol and ibuprofen and Tylenol and ibuprofen. I was doing ice packs and heat packs. I had a TENS unit. I went to a massage therapist. I went to a physical therapist. I wore a knee brace. I had a compression sleeve. I did kinesiotaping.
Oh, wow.
So I was to the point that literally it was do something invasive or try something completely different. And, because I'd been using light therapy for facials, I knew that it worked. The piece of equipment I have here in my facial room doesn't have the near infrared. So it wasn't reaching as deep as I needed it to. Mm-hmm. So that's when I kind of stepped up my game and bought a smaller little panel to try it out for a week just to see. But, all of those things that I said that I was doing to try to get through my knee pain, I don't do any of those anymore. Mm-hmm. So I'm not taking ibuprofen or Tylenol daily. My knee is not kinesiotaped. I'm not wearing a brace. I'm not putting a hot pack and ice pack on my knee at the end of the day. So myself personally, I believe in it. It has 100% been a game changer for me. I can really quickly, I can pull up one of our case studies. We have clients that are allowing us to share their stories, and I do not have them memorized. So I can't really help you out with that. Let's see what this one is. Okay. So this person is a 54-year-old female. So she is in that lovely perimenopause, menopause transition. So she was having, night sweats, hot flashes, cold sweats, and not sleeping well, which is really common. So she did 25 sessions over 12 weeks. So right at 3 months. And her menopausal symptoms on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, she was rating them at a 5. And after 12 weeks, she's rating them at a 2. Her sleep on a 1 to 10 scale with, again, 10 being the worst. She was rating her sleep at a 6, which is not good. That means half the time she's not sleeping well. And her sleep is now at a 2.
Oh, wow.
So that's a significant, that's more than a 50% improvement in her sleep.
Right. That's great.
And then I'm just going to pull up another one for you. So this person is a 42-year-old female with diabetes, hypothyroidism, high cholesterol, seasonal allergies, chronic heartburn, is on medications for all of those. So with her initial red light therapy session, her ratings for pain were a 4. At the end of her, so she came in for 16 weeks. Sorry, I skipped over that. So her pain went down by 25%. Her stress level went down by more than 50%. So she was also having some issues with sleep on that scale. She had rated her sleep a 6. At the end of her 4 months, she has her sleep rated at a 1. So a 1 is the best that it can be, which means that
Yes.
she was sleeping all night. And as far as how she felt overall, her initial score was a 7, and her score at the end was a 2. So she wrote this whole story for us about how she was doing and how she's feeling now. And the last thing she wrote is, I plan to make red light therapy a regular part of my wellness routine. So she is someone that we actually see every month now. So it's just part of her wellness routine.
That is amazing. Well,
It
thank you
is.
for sharing. I really appreciate that. And I know that you offer the first session for free. Why do you do that?
Well, because, it sounds too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true. It sounds kind of hokey. It's like, what we hear a lot is, is it like a tanning bed? And we're like, no, it's nothing like a tanning bed, except for the fact that it's warm. So people don't really know what it is. So part of this is just to dispel the myth that it is like a tanning bed. And when you hear things that sound too good to be true, it's really hard just to give it, what's the right word here? Just to give it a chance. So we're like, hey, there are no strings, there are no gimmicks. You go online, schedule it, put in the code RLT1ST, so red light therapy first, and you get your first session for free. You don't have to put a deposit down. You don't have to enter your credit cards. Literally, when you put in that code at booking, it actually takes away the need to put in a credit card. So you have absolutely nothing to lose by trying it.
Wow. And then I'm interested in the red light therapy facials. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. So red light therapy, as far as, like I said, I've been going on, it helps the skin heal. So as we get older, our skin, it slows down. Our whole body slows down, actually. So it's just a very non-invasive way to stimulate our skin cells to actually start working a little harder, do the things that they need to do. Everybody who's 60 wants to look like they're 40. Everyone who's 50 wants to look like they're 30. So, this enables people to just have a tool that they can use to strengthen their skin, to stimulate collagen and elastin production, stimulate the lymphatic system. So all of the puffy things in our face actually start moving down into our thorax, so our lymphatic system can take care of it. And then, the system that I have here in the facial room, we can actually use, blue light to help with acne. We can use green light to help with hyperpigmentation. We can use yellow to help more with the lymphatic system. We also even have a setting where we can do all light therapy. So you're just bombarded with healthy non-UV light to stimulate your skin.
What about the people that have the puffy underneath the eyes, like big puffy?
Okay, so my best recommendation for that is do a facial massage. So when you're in the shower in the morning and you're getting ready, use a really great cleanser, specifically a creamy cleanser or an oil-based cleanser, and do a facial massage in the morning. Start here around your collarbone, start stimulating the lymph nodes through here to start draining. And then you work your neck, you work your jawline, you work from your center line out towards your ears, your forehead down, and then do some flushing movements and get all of the fluids moving.
Okay. And is there a certain way that you need to massage?
You want to use enough pressure to move the lymphatics. You want to use not so much pressure that you're compressing the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is a very, very delicate system. So if you actually take your fingers and put just on top of your hand and just let it rest and just slide, that's about all of the pressure that you need. Okay. So if you're doing more than that, if you're pressing down like you're getting a massage, then you're using too much pressure. So I can send you the link. There is a video that is on the Ozarks First website where I went on to the afternoon show, and I forget what the name of it is right off the top of my head, and actually did a deep cleansing facial massage on TV. So I can provide that link for you. But really, it's just start at your clavicle, loosen everything up, and then start from the center and work out. And then from the top to the bottom, just to flush everything out.
What are the different prices?
So we have everything priced out at multiple points. So you can come in and get an individual session. an individual session. First one is obviously still free. Individual sessions are $75, but we really don't recommend doing just one session. So we have packages available. So you can do a package of 6 or a package of 12. A package of 6 has a 15% discount. A package of 12 has a 30% discount. Unlimited memberships we also have available. So you can just come in for 1 month, come in every single day that we're open. If you want to do that, that's $500 for 1 month unlimited. Or if you commit to 3 months, you'll save an additional $100 off of your monthly membership price.
Nice. That's great. And then what is your website?
So the website is Linde-Esthetics.com. So Linde-Esthetics.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. It's just at Linde Aesthetic.
Perfect. Now, at the end of our broadcast, I like to ask my guests to leave with words of wisdom. What would be your words of wisdom for our listeners?
I guess my words of wisdom would be to take care of yourself now. Take care of yourself now.
That's good. Well, thank you so much, Wendy, for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching and listening to this episode on Reflect Live Podcast.
Next up, Linda Henderson. Saturday, June 8th, 10 to 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Explore the profound journey of grief and healing in this episode of Reflect Live Podcast, as Michelle welcomes Linda Henderson, author of The Road of Love and Hope. Linda shares her deeply moving story of losing her daughter Andrea, who tragically died in a car accident while pregnant.
Listen on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, or live stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram.
Get a sneak peek on upcoming episodes on www.reflectlive.com.